go.
Streaming from South Africa to the world. This is the Stonks Go Moon podcast. What just happened? We break it down so you don't have to.
Welcome everyone to the Stonks Go Moon podcast. My guest today, Michael Taylor. He is trader and founder at shiftingshares.com. Michael, welcome to the pod.
Hi Rocco, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
No man, it's a big pleasure. So a little theme running through season 7 of this podcast, this aggressively mediocre podcast that we're running, is people that didn't have like a, I'll call it that normal career path where you go to a college or university, you get a job, like you become a dentist or engineer or a doctor or whatever the case may be. They found the passion and the calling on different ways in life, and I think that's where your story stood out for me. I think let's dive straight into it. Like, how did you find yourself to where you are right now?
So I originally did 2 master's degrees in business because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I thought, I might as well go in business, try and earn a lot of money, and then at some point I might find what I want to do. So that seemed like a good idea.
Okay.
I got out of my degrees and met a girl who actually became my wife. So I moved to Germany.
Wow.
And started working in recruitment, or as some people know it as telephone terrorism.
Yeah.
Did that for 6 months, but I was trading stocks on the side, and I was actually earning more doing that than my full-time job. So in the end, it made sense to just pack it in, take a risk on the market and see what happened. And so far, it's going okay. But,
what was your MBA? Sorry, what was your MBA in? Or you said you've got two masters.
Yeah, so it was a Master of Arts in International Business Management.
Yeah.
And a very similar one in Advanced Management from Rijksuniversiteit Groningen in the Netherlands.
But I mean, there's a clear disconnect, right, between the financial market and those 2 degrees. It's like complete polar opposites.
Yeah, in hindsight, I probably should have done something more financial trading. But, I actually think people that come from, because I'm an outsider as well, right? So for me, I have a law degree, and nice.
So I mean that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work, but also like I knew I didn't want to be a lawyer, right? So, but so there's a connection for me there about doing something and then finding your passion later on. But okay, so what was your introduction to trading or to the financial markets?
So I had savings, and basically I didn't want them to just erode over time.
Yes.
So I put them into a tracker fund.
Okay.
And then eventually thought, well, maybe I could do better myself.
Yes.
Started investing in stocks, and I had like a pretty rudimentary system where I'd buy something and I'd sell it when it went 20 or 30% up, and I just kept on repeating that. It wasn't the best of systems. And then I eventually found my way into penny stocks. And the market at this time in 2016 was incredible. I mean, you could not make money. 2017 again. So I went full time in December 2016 at the perfect time. Made a lot of money, lost a lot of money, which was pretty crushing because I didn't actually realize you could lose money that fast. But I was still up from where I started, and I thought as long as I just have a steady system and look at it more, as a business rather than just gambling on, story stocks.
Yes.
I thought I could do this, full time as long as I don't take crushing losses.
Yes.
So that was the turning point where I started becoming more methodical and looking for things that worked, what didn't work, rather than just betting on stocks. And, I was really lucky because the market for penny stocks in 2018 wasn't very good. So if I'd have started a year later, I probably would have ended up going back to work.
That's a fair amount of luck as well. But
Yeah,
you had a post.
definitely.
You had a post today on LinkedIn, which I quite liked. It's saying that don't quit your job to go and trade, or to apply or take your chance at trading. Just spend an hour a day at it and honing your craft, because a lot of people, they feel like, oh, I want to quit everything that I'm doing and this is what I want to do exclusively, and they don't understand that it's something that you can do on the side. It's not something that you have to do full time, and it's something that takes a long time to sort of hone your skills to get at a certain level where you're profitable.
Yeah, I sort of posted that, but I didn't do that. But for me at the time, I was earning very little money.
Yes.
And it was an entry level, essentially a sales position. So it wasn't, I hadn't worked my way up in a career.
Yeah.
It was something that I could easily go back to
Yes.
in 6 months if it didn't work out. But for people who have that big career and they have all of those expenses, or they have a family to look after, use your job to fund that trading business and invest time in learning. And I appreciate it takes a long time to learn to trade. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. But you've got to get started somewhere, and those little 1 to 2 hours in a day that you can find just to learn and read things, eventually it all compounds. In my first year of the market, I remember my friends were all going to Amsterdam for a couple of nights. I literally went for a day because I wanted to spend the rest of my weekend working on trading and looking at stocks. It is a big sacrifice, but it can be done. And especially if you've got your job so that you are not reliant on the stock market for a living, because that's when it gets really stressful. If things are going badly.
100%. Then tell me, then you shifted to educational because, trying to add value to other people, trying to help them, people that are on a similar journey. So how did that come about for you?
So I realized that there wasn't actually an online course to trade stocks. So I thought I'll just build the course that I would have wanted. And offer that. And, I'd thought about getting some other sources of income. Because obviously if I don't trade, I don't make money. That's a reality,
right? Yeah, that's a reality.
You don't get any pension, you don't get any holiday pay. It's you eat what you kill. And I looked at going into property, but it's a lot of work. And personally I find it quite boring. But I decided to start a business in education. I thought that's where my area of expertise is. That's what I enjoy doing. And it is tied to the stock market in a way, because when the market's doing really well, I'll get a lot of interest. And now I've got zero interest because the market is not doing so well. I was still tied. But it's it's a small diversification.
But it's refreshing to me that to hear someone speak about what you're doing as a business, as opposed to what you're doing and trying to get people to actively trade and saying, no, I'm not making money out of it. Oh, it is, you're making money. And that's the realities of being a trader. If you don't trade, then you don't make money. People glorify the lifestyle a lot because you see on IG these guys in Lamborghinis with cash and whatever, and that's complete nonsense. So people are sold essentially a lie. And like you said, now when the market is difficult, and a lot of us, it's not just me, a lot of us are sitting just on cash and with no positions, maybe one or two, then you need other sources of income, right? You need other revenue streams. So that's what was actually one of my questions was going to be what is the interest like now? Because I feel like post Robinhood, that whole fiasco, it's discouraged a lot of people to sort of walk away from the financial market or participating in the financial markets.
Yeah, I think you're right, Rocco. There's been a lot of people leaving the market because we had GameStop and all of these AMC crazy things that were going up. People were making money hand over fist. And people are learning now that stocks don't always go up, and that you can lose money, and people have blown the furlough money. They got free money in the US as well. I'm not sure how it was in South Africa, but people have got this free money. They've been sat at home bored and been punting on stocks. And now it's completely different. I mean, my website got a lot more traffic in 2020 than it does now, even though I've got so many more articles on my website and there's so much more free information. It just gets less traffic because people are searching less.
Yes, that's interesting. I mean, I guess my biggest question is out of this whole session is, has your focus on education shifted from like the 2020, 2021 until now? Because the market is completely different to what it was. And how did you go? If so, how did you go about it? Or is it still just the same?
So I launched the course in 2020. I've added more content twice since then, but I don't currently have shorting. That's getting built now, and I'll be putting that on this summer. But essentially what I do is trend trade, swing trade breakouts, look for cup and handles, look for extended bases. So what I do hasn't actually changed. There's just less setups and you get stopped out a lot more. The market's getting choppy. Yes. There was a time you could buy a breakout and it would just run. And you could be lazy with risk management, but now you've got to be really tight. Because a lot of these stocks, they'll break out and they'll pull back and they'll just keep falling. So that is one change that I am going to be making. I'm doing a lot more intraday trading now as well. So aside from the swing trades, I look at the news on a morning and try and trade the RNSs from that. So the RNSs in the UK is like the regulatory news. So things like earnings, trading updates.
Yes, earnings. Yes. Changes. Yeah, because if stocks missed earnings, they almost got slaughtered.
Yeah, that can be the case. Yeah, sometimes if it's a surprise to the market, it'll get slaughtered. But those are the types of trades I'm looking to make now. And that's quite hard because the larger the stock, the more interest there is, the more efficient it is. If you're trading on a time frame of minutes, you've really got to cut your losses quick, otherwise that can sizably move against you.
Especially,
I took a loss this morning, and I've closed it already.
No, but that is one of the biggest educational pieces of advice that you can give is close your losses and not letting your winners run. But I mean, interesting, going back to the retail traders, I saw an article yesterday saying the SEC wants to basically regulate the way that brokers handle traders, the execution of traders' trades. And this is now in the US, obviously. But it just feels to me that the retail trader gets such a bad rap for everything that's going on in the market, right? It's never the institutions or the hedge funds or these guys that can really move the market, but it's sort of the quote unquote retailer. What do you think? Is it a fair assessment?
Not really, because retail. I was a retail trader once, and you can move smaller stocks. If there's massive inflows into things like GameStop, that's really rare. Yes. I don't think retail moves the market in any meaningful way. It's mostly institutions, especially when it comes to the larger stocks. Smaller stocks, it's probably mostly retail. If you've got a 10, 20, 30 million market cap stock, but the larger stuff, no, I don't really buy that. It's institutions selling.
So what's the future for the retail trader? Do you think people are gonna come back? Do you think they'll find other avenues? Because I don't think retail trading is dead. I just think it's going through sort of a dip, and it's maybe people should use this time to go and re-educate themselves about what it's really about.
Well, now's a great time. I read this book before by Steve Ward, The Bulletproof Trader.
Yeah.
And he says traders go through two phases, the earnings phase and the learning phase.
Yes.
So when you're making money, you want to focus on making money. And then when that sort of period comes to an end, the feast period, that's when you start looking back at all of your trades, learning what you can do better, looking up new strategies. That's sort of the phase that I'm in now, with the market being really choppy.
Yes.
And retail traders have it amazingly well. We got all this information online. For example, your podcast, other podcasts, books. There's free books out there. Commissions are really cheap. With IG, I can buy and sell stock for like £3. It's back when I started, it was £8, so it's come down a lot.
Yes, they've cut it almost in half.
Yeah, and some of them are even free. I mean, I don't recommend using those because the true cost is always in something else.
If you're not paying for something, you are the product.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I mean, there was one that offered free trade, but it only executed at the end of the market. And I was thinking, so it's a bit like a wheel with no car with no wheels, isn't it? I mean, it's useless. The price could be anything at the end of the trading day. So you might save £3 on commission, you might lose 300 quid or whatever your size was. On a percentage swing. So pointless. But yeah, the fees for trading are really low. You don't need as much capital as you once needed to get started. But I think the biggest problem retail traders have is they want action, and trading actually is boring. If you do it right, it is really boring. It's methodical.
Yes.
You just follow a system. So I put a trade on today. I might not close it for a few weeks. I've put my stop on, and I know where I want to get out. And now I just have to wait for something to happen. It was like 10 seconds of action of me calling the broker, putting the trade on, and that's it. And it is boring. You've just got to get used to it. But that's how you make money if you play longer term trends. Jesse Livermore, in the famous book Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, that's how he made his money, just by finding a good opportunity and sitting on his hands. And it's a bit of a cliche, but it is true. And that's one thing. When I started making more money, it was because I started zooming out and looking at the bigger picture. So for anyone starting trading, don't try and make money every week or even every month. Just focus on a longer time period.
And my mantra is patience is power. You don't go and look for trades. But I mean, back to my main point here is use this time to go and re-educate yourself. Where can people find you? Where, if they are looking for proper market education, where can they find you? We'll drop the links in the comments as well, but I think people will find it helpful to connect with you.
Thanks. So I'm on Twitter @ShiftingShares. So I post things I've learned and threads on trading, things like that. I've got my website shiftingshares.com, where I've got a free book which goes through all of the UK market, and I've got lots of articles on my site as well. Okay,
I'm going to put the links in the comments. Go and connect with Michael if you want to know bullshit, no fluff approach to trading, Michael. So thank you so much for joining me today, and to our listeners, peace, love, and prosperity. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.